Looks like we're back on cobblestone today with a smoke that will block off the door to connector on A site. To throw this smoke, first aim at the middle window, then ignore it and then go to the left of this window. Aim at the corner of the roof, then walk forward and throw. Easy peasy and effective.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Season 6, Match Day 13, Week 4, Game 2. It is time to find out how this one's going to be going down. A best of 2 this time. It's a hot match of the week. G2, we're meeting the ninjas in pajamas. We once again return to our glorious studio. Myself, Machine, accompanied by... What's an S word that refers to 2 people so I can have like the salmon silhouettes? The salmon sensations. That's lovely. So we have the salmon sensations. It's of course none other than YNK and Sponge, who are going to be talking us through this one. And gents, before we get started, reminder to everyone at home that this entire thing powered by Intel, as well as, of course, Chad. Eyes on you. I know you have been given a bit of a challenge. You were given some names. You were forced to select some likely MVP candidates, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for the paysafecard.com/fan vote, Alex. The 5 players who I picked for the month of August, we only had very few games in that. I think we had 1 week, maybe 1.5.
Yes. Yeah.
I picked Shox, JW, Simple, Config, and Valda. Now they were the standout players that I thought really helped their team to victories and played fantastic Counter-Strike. At the moment, Shox is winning the poll on 71%. So
71%.
Yeah, blistering.
Okay, so I think they have 2 days. If they want to go ahead and shift that, you guys can go ahead and vote for your favorite players at the magical URL /fanvote.
It is /fanvote, yes.
What do you have against FaZe?
I don't have anything against FaZe. It's just they played so well as a team, Yanko. There were no standout individuals for me to include.
You just hate FaZe, don't you? Hater.
Yeah, I see him doing phase down hand. I was about to call it a hand emoji. Who the hell am I? Hand emoji?
I like it. I do like it.
Well, I'm going to bow my head in shame with the use of hand emoji and realize that I am the millennial I've been trying to avoid. Yanko, you good?
It's fine.
We'll instead start talking about this game. And just before we take a look at a video featuring none other than ninjas in pajamas, I do want you to kind of set the scene for where they're at. Because new talent has arrived. They've been playing some online games. They've been having a little bit of a foray in the offline environment. What's your read on NIP?
It's a bit all over the place, isn't it? I mean, in Malmo they had a good showing. You would say that they were having, you know, the upward trajectory, but then a little bit disappointing, you know, especially at the E-League. They had that 3-mapper loss against Envious, where they got to play 2 of their best maps, Cash and Nuke. Also online, it's been, I mean, they just played FaZe in the Epicenter qualifier. They won 4 T rounds of 30 possible. Oof. So not a very good showing for them in the last 10 days or so.
Bit of a hiding.
A hiding.
A hiding.
Well, there's no hiding that NIP are going to have to perform well if they want to be taking this one versus G2, of course, fresh off of a victory. We saw them lift the trophy over in the aforementioned Malmö. For now, though, let's go ahead and take a look at the Ninjas in Pajamas boys. They hung out with Betway, and we're going to have a little look under the hood.
One of the top 3 songs on my playlist, like most played, is Fuck the Police by NWA. I've seen you dance, man.
That I have a smell and maybe I dance better under ice.
Probably not.
No, no, that can't be true. That is not true. That's also literally impossible for you to have. So at 1.6 I had 2,200 hours recorded and almost 6,000 hours in CSGO.
I mean, I know that he was a terrible teammate at 1.6 because he never played, but you know, that little, are you kidding me?
How much did you have?
6.
In 1.6?
I think so.
Okay. You played 3 times a month, you did? What the hell? We don't do judgment here. Oh, free play, fuck the police. No, that's not true. If that is true, we gotta...
It's actually a pretty good song.
Yeah. No. It's false. It's false.
Yeah, I love the police, man.
I had a traumatic experience with a butterfly when I was younger, and now I'm scared of them.
What did it do to you when you were younger? What happened?
I actually had
a doll, and you can show us where the butterfly touched me.
I actually had a nightmare the day before this actually happened, and in the nightmare it attacked me and was hitting my ear like all the time, and I was just screaming, you know, and I think actually end of my nightmare, because it was like 15 years ago, I actually ran into a tree. So the day after.
Did you run into a tree the day after?
The day after, I was at the same spot as a nightmare. And there came a butterfly, so I started running. Yes, I hit the tree.
This has to be true.
I'm gonna be so disappointed if it's not true, but I'm gonna say false.
Please, it has to be true.
It's false.
I don't have a good sense of the ball
control.
Ball control.
Yeah,
yeah, it's not so great. I don't.
I know my balls. My guilty pleasure is watching musicals before I go to bed. My favorite movie is Mamma Mia.
I don't want to know what you do before you go to bed, but
maybe he's into that.
Let's hope it's true though.
Yeah, I hope for it. Seriously, I hope it's true too. Please, please, for love of the God.
Dude.
Please.
I'm sorry. I watch like Lord of the Rings or something before I go to bed. I'm not watching musicals, sorry.
One of the kids with the name Olofmeister or what? No, dude.
Wow, dude.
It's
not true, I'm named the Freiburg.
Whoa.
I mean, I didn't see the video before we checked that out, but I've learned an awful lot about the NIP boys.
Listen, Alex, I got it figured out.
Okay.
So if you took a closer look at Forrest, you could see he has the ring on his finger.
He does, yeah.
So I think that was recorded like the day after the wedding, and everyone's just still drunk.
Okay.
Would
Because
Adam have
Freiburg's still in
been-
the team.
Was he still in the team then? Anyway, rest in peace.
I mean, come on.
If that last shot, the last zoom on Freiburg's face.
If he's
was
not the
just like-
part of the team, he can still be at the wedding. They're still friends. He's not dead to them.
Yeah, but he's wearing an NIP shirt.
Well, obviously, contractual obligation.
Okay, all right. But with all of that said,
like a
Freiburg
king
listens
never
to
tried.
musicals before bed. I mean, listens to, I imagine, watches as well. There's usually a kind of a performance component to a musical. Get Right and Butterflies, I'm not sure I want to get into that one. Got a little confused.
What about the Sims Fanatic story?
I quite like that one. I like the
I
idea.
think they kind of missed the point of the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think most people kind of end up just kind of practicing their sadistic fantasies in Sims, you know? That's kind of what it's become.
Moving back to the lovely, peaceful game of Counter-Strike.
Yes, let's go back to the peaceful game of Counter-Strike, because we do have a game on our hands. NIP, as you saw, having fun. We'll see if they're going to be having fun when they face G2. Now, this is Chad. I'm going to throw this ball towards you, and you can maybe run with it. Nice. We had the figurative catch. The French, who have done nothing but pick up pace as of late.
Yeah, you know, when these team first came together, we were being, well, I don't know if we dubbed them. I think they were dubbed as the super team, right? You know, this was all what we wanted to see. Kenny S and Shox finally on the same team. And they had a really slow start. They didn't look like they were clicking early. But since then, you know, they've actually been building momentum. Like you're saying, we're seeing more out of them as a squad. I think Shox is the biggest one who's come back to form. And I think that's because he's not doing the secondary AWPing as much. It seemed like they were forcing that for a while. Didn't work out for him. Now he seems to be mainly on the rifle. MBK is doing some more secondary AWPing stuff for them when they need to. So it makes a little bit more sense now. And winning Malmo was a pretty big victory, right? They played fantastically individually. And this team can be very scary if everyone's on point. I think the biggest one for me who needs to, you know, show up maybe a little bit more consistently is Body. We did see some good things out of him while Shox wasn't performing, but if he can be a rock, if, you know, he can be a Zipnik style player, then G2 can be very, very, very scary going forward.
I mean, what's interesting, and just pulling on that body string a bit more, Yenko, is that he has been there for an incredibly long time, right? I mean, like, there has been opportunities for them to remove him. You know, they have Smith sitting in that coach role, and every opportunity they choose to keep this man. I mean, people were confused about his arrival in the roster, but he's a kind of a mainstay now for the French.
Yeah, I think when you look at the shuffle that was made, the last one, it was, you know, people wanted to have Scream in that team instead of Body probably, but that would, in my opinion, just be too many cooks. You know, you have to have someone who's going to take a step back and play a bit more for the team. So I thought maybe they would go for RPK because he's more experienced, but they really put a lot of faith in Body and his skill, and we saw it, you know, every now and then he does have a great performance, even though that's not necessarily what he's there to do, right? You want to have great performances from Kenny S, Shox. They're the ones who are supposed to lead the team, and then everyone else just adds to it.
Now, with all of that said, I realise time is limited, and I know that the map will make this prediction a bit interesting. The map is Nuke, and this should be where NIP flourish. Yet, Chad, I mean, I'm asking for a prediction here. The Swedes, Nuke. What are you thinking?
Strategically, you know they're pretty good, but I'm going to have to go with G2. I think there's so much firepower there, and they're pretty strong.
Yeah. Supposed to lead the team, and then G2 won 2-0, so I feel G2 takes it firepower, yes.
All right, faith in the Samurai. We'll see what the ninjas can do, though, because we have two casters waiting in the wings to raise the figurative roof.
You can be a ninja. I'll be a samurai. Which would you rather, Hank?
I would rather be a ninja, I think. Be undetected. Got those shurikens as well. Throw those.
Yeah, oh, nice sound effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've got katanas, or whatever they call those swords.
I think that is called... oh, maybe it's katana. You're right. Yeah. Well, there
so
we go.
I have more range. Well, shuriken can throw, but I'll just block it with my katana and then decapitate you.
Oh, that flash didn't go too well, but we could do it towards the ramp room. It's going to be Rez to defend too, and Exist joins in as well. Bit of action there towards the ramp room, but Shoxy does take down Exist. They get 2 frags, but they have the advantage and fall back towards lower. That's the way to play the ramp room. And now, 4 versus 3 with Apex towards the lower bomb side as well, trying to get something done towards the vents.
He's there. He's in the vents. Trying to get something done might be a little bit harder because there's no one else down there with him. Or then again, it is Nuke, so who knows? There could be someone right beside him, and the minimap wouldn't tell you.
That's true.
But he is alone, I can confirm. As he goes toward Detox. Decontamination, sorry. Decon.
Detox.
That's where I spend most of my time.
Yeah.
Rez has made his way back to control room at least, so he's got company. He can at least watch the ramp, but couldn't do much with it. They're surrounding him, waiting for Apex's call. They go down below, and back to a 3 versus 3 with the bomb that's going to be planted as Get Right gets in position, nearly catches the planter, running toward the site instead. Gets greeted by Apex, who held the angle, but Forrest and Draken walk out to find the bomb, although planted. Ooh. Vulnerable and exposed, and Forrest will collect the remaining member in the round, Kenny S. And we find ourselves with an NIP victory and a lead.
Been very excited with Forrest's form recently. It's been impeccable. He still continues to impress everyone, even though he is one of the old boys now. Still proves to be one of the absolute best players in NIP, and still proves to be a star of the game as well. To be 1-0 in favor of NIP. I'm not sure about the prediction of this one, you know. I do feel like G2 definitely have more firepower available to them, but NIP, grizzled veterans on this map, and they always seem to provide decent results, even in this iteration of it. So I'm sure it'll be close. It's difficult to say who will win. I would go NIP just about. I think it'll probably be like a 16-14 game, but we'll see. The force bite from G2. Forrest says no. Headshot comes in straight away. That was through the squeaky door. Good lord. A closed squeaky door. Yep.
Good lineup, good find. Forrest trying to do the same outside as Draken to help. So too with Get Right as he gets to the big garage and body. Gets Forrest back, but Get Right doesn't really care because he'll take him down as well, and all things point to NIP going up 2-0 as it's just Shocks remaining.
Might take that back because we were sort of wallbang icon. Must have looked through the hut window.
You're right. Yeah,
and got him.
You're right.
Because we just jumped to it. Got a bit excited.
You got me excited, Hank. I was all in on that.
We had no wallbang icon, but
you're such a liar.
We might get a look at it. Oh, it's getting all spicy. There we go. So it would have been through the... There it goes. At least I worked it out without seeing it. I corrected myself before I had to, so I don't lose any points. I actually gained some, I think.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
But here we go. The force buy, that's really interesting from G2. And that sort of round, getting the bomb down. It's traditional to get the AKs and the third. It is a bit of a risk, but it can work out, forcing the second like that, but not if Forrest is blowing your head off towards the hub. Full eco here. And Forrest does find another headshot. He's on point tonight, I have to say. Looking very crispy indeed. Up against Locks this time, but his aim does not lie.
Oh! That was perfect. Just tapping for the sake of it, and Kenny walked immediately into it. You've got to love that. Forrest even stopped shooting in contemplation of, did that really happen?
Yeah.
And yes, unfortunately, for Kenny it did, as NIP go up 3-0, but now we get into the interesting rounds. We'll go into the guns, and the guns could be brought out in fashion with an AWP if it's glass cannon for Kenny. Actually, I take that back. You could even get a chest plate.
No, he can't.
No, he can't. You're right. Sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, my mouth's
tried.
Off.
You took a swing.
I did. You know what? So did Conor McGregor once, but Mayweather didn't really care.
So Kenny will go for the glass cannon here. Gets a smoke and a flashbang as well. A lot of teams doing these smokes in T-spawn these days. We haven't really seen these until about 4 months ago, I'd say. It was everyone else, the first time I saw doing it at least. But fast play from Body. He has been a great player for this G2 lineup. Takes down Get Right and a shut-up duel there with the AK-47s. It's Draken to defend though towards lower. Has proven himself to be a very skilled AWPer. Still learning, still developing, makes some questionable decisions sometimes, but he seems to be addressing that issue as his career goes on here in NIP. Obviously, got some great veterans to work with. 5-on-4. And he still holds towards lower. Won't be challenged just yet. Body waiting for any aggressive play from his point of view. Still a lot of time to work with here, and we still have the majority of the utility. All the flashbangs, a couple of smokes, Molotovs as well. So G2 biding their time.
Biding their time. As Exist will do the same inside of the site. Body Apex Shocks all outside. Problems though, because Forrest going down at heaven with an excellent shot from Body opens up the yard to work with. They're going to pinch the upper site. Rez needs to make the call. Low HP could mean and yield 1 for a UMP. You might as well call it 1 for Get Right, as even though he gets taken down, it's a team kill that came in from Apex. But it's the only kill that NIP will get. So despite member lost for G2 and 5 kills in the round, none of them were done by the hands of NIP direct.
Apex with some crazy aim there with the AK-47, showing us what he's made up towards outside. He seemed to be picking off heads left, right, and centre. It came from that fast outside play. There were a couple of smokes in T-spawn. Meant that players can go a little bit quicker towards Secret these days, and Get Right tried to challenge Body. Got taken down, and there was a 5-on-4. They didn't fully commit towards the lower bomb to that. That's where the rotations went. And I took a bit of a gamble sending the AWP down there, and went back towards upper, or maybe even more towards outside, and that's where Apex started hitting everyone. And nothing they could really do. NIP with the saved SMGs had to give in and save the AWP here. Draken, it's a great save considering they will be able to buy next round just about. He saves incendiary, smoke, flashbangs as well. 7k on res here. Exists not far behind, so definitely a nice full buy. Here's the replay from Apex, I'm sure. Who makes his way in towards the upper bombs. They've got a team kill there as well, but that can be excused, as you saw. Not really much you can do about that. Had to guarantee the frag. And I always say, if I had to kill my teammates to kill you, I will definitely do it instead of him killing both of us.
Absolutely, and it makes perfect sense. Obviously, they took the site. You've always said that you'd kill me anyway, even if it didn't amount to killing anyone else. You'd just do it, kill me, to get me off the map. Wall of smoke coming in. Get Right's position is interesting because it's a one and done, but it's inside of the smoke. If they walk toward him, okay, so he's going to actually open the angle so that he has a chance to swing the peak. That could give him more than one potentially.
Well, that is from G2 though, throwing the same consistent smokes. Not setting anyone outside this time. It's nice to do that every single round, even if you don't use them. But the problem is, Get Right in that position towards Secret. He now has the information they haven't used it. Pushes up a little bit forward as well. He wants to go to T-spawn, and spots one there. Does damage, can't find the frag, but there it is. It finally comes in. Picks off KNS's head, but MBK will be quick to reply. Same story for Shox as well. Forest misses the jump towards the window. Doesn't get punished for it. Only got that UMP. Trying to get close range here.
Gotten to the M4, however, that was down. Draken has made his way back on top of the rafters. Such a classic brawl, this, the French versus NIP.
It is good, isn't it?
Even though it's a very different these days than what it used to be, it still is good.
Especially NIP. But still, nice to see so many big names on the server right now. Certainly justifies the hot match of the week. Piping hot right now, as we are on Nuke as well.
Piping hot?
Yeah.
Like a hot water pipe, I assume? They are pretty hot.
Like a hot apple pie.
Oh, okay, that's not a pipe.
Yeah, I don't really know what that means, piping hot, but there you go.
I assume it means like hot water pipe. They're pretty fiery these days. So too is the AWP from Draken, however. And Forrest on rotation, good find. Drops the bomb out of the hands of MBK, excuse me, as Forrest follows that up by getting Shox. He will eventually be found by Body, but that just baits in Draken again to find an AWP kill. I'm talking really fast for no reason.
Well, it still works. It was G2 desperately making their way towards lower there. Time was ticking away. Forrest, good as ever, managed to find 2 quick frags with the M4A4. Draken helps him out as well. Liking Draken's form right now. 4 kills, 0 deaths, making calm and calculated decisions. Saving his weapon when he has to, and then chiming in with big frags when required as well. And we'll be 4-1. G2 with the force buy here, definitely. They get 3 AK, sure, but Apex down to the CZ. He's been one of the key players for them. And Kenny S, no warp, of course, down to the Galil. So there's a force buy, and Draken's got a gap to work with here. Flashbang won't get him. Surely a frag comes in. Doesn't connect, but does spot 2 crossing over. And oh my god, Forrest could completely wreck them here. They've had to take a deep breath and hope for the best here with the flashbang. Flash is decent, but the shot is not. It's going to be Forrest that goes down, and Body completely takes him down. I thought the gap in the smoke would yield at least 1 frag for Forrest there. Draken, after I called him out for being so good so far, misses a couple of key kills as well. So 5 and 4. They do manage to look pretty strong in this situation. Holding towards Seeker right now. Just mixing up what they're going to do with the buy here. Apex, like we said, been so good. He gets gifted an AK-47 now. We'll see if we can do anything with it.
MBK is going to walk outside, has the lineup correct toward heaven. Can't get the shot on Draken, who has AWP, so he has to be a bit cautious, but he backs away from it, probably smartly so, as Apex down below, already inside his secret, will clear off the corner position. Body instead. Decontamination will smoke his way inside of the site, just the pistol to work with at range, but he gets information for his teammates who get inside and get a plant down on the back of his smoke. So job done for G2. They just have to hold as Exist gets inside of the vents. His teammate with him, they'll bust him out and go aggressive. He's got to be careful because they're wrapping him behind him. So even though they've just gone through the vents, Get Right considers it, realizes that there's 2 coming from the same place. Gets Kenny as well.
That's really well played from Get Right there. Great awareness as well. Brings the 4-on-4 to the 4-on-2, but Apex, who will be going down about a 5 up. Bomb has been defused. MBK did what he could. Awkward plan for him. Very nice retake from the Ninjas. You can see why they're so proficient on Nuke. The rotation on point. The communication's looking very good as well. And even after losing that first frag, they managed to recover. Get right. Seems to be finding form again. You remember, Matt, at the beginning of the even toward the mid stages of it, it felt like Get Right. We had a lot of question marks around his career in general. It was quite disappointing. I think you pointed out a few times that you were saying he maybe wants to consider taking a break and coming back. But it seems like since the addition of Rez and Draken, he has got a lot better. And seems like those sort of plays is what he's known for. It's very, very good stuff.
I would agree. And when I say break, I literally just meant to break for him some time off.
Yeah, exactly,
I didn't mean retirement
at
all.
And
I just want to specify that because I'm not saying break is in like a polite kick in the pants. I'm saying it as he was a player that I thought could have benefited from just relaxing for a bit. But you're right. He's looked a lot better with the changes to NIP. Perhaps he as well is invigorated as much as anyone else. As Forrest above will start to yield his way back toward the annex or main entrance position to see if anyone wrapping outer will be caught, will be found. Rez from control, flash down, good find, spray control there. One of the few players using the A1S, so the spray control's fine, but it didn't leave him much to work with. Either way, it's Apex to bust in. CZ, back turn, Shocks missed a massive opportunity to get Draken.
Still can get it, though.
Go to the pistol himself, you're right, he can. In fact, he baits in his teammate. Apex instead, they've got a man advantage. A gun picked up, and 2 rifles already in play. Not only that, add the half man of the bomb. Good shot from Shocks on the AWP that he just picked up to immediately put it down to Forrest in a 1 versus 3 with Kit.
Well, this was a round where G2 didn't bring much to the party, but managed to swarm towards that lower bomb site. The CZ's in hand as well. It's proving to be such a difficult weapon to hold off in the current game, and that should be NIP. Down to not much more than pistols. And AWP comes out. That's going to be Draken purchasing it. A lot of pressure on his young shoulders right now, and still have 4 pistols around him, up against Kenny S as well. And Nuke is one of those difficult maps. In terms of options, you can either go towards ramp, outside, or heaven. That's pretty much it. You go main entrance as well for the first pick, but in terms of opening plays and like making something happen, you have to be gifted the opportunity and hope you go towards the right side of the map. There's no like hyper-aggressive sort of plays. You can go towards catwalk outside, I guess, and try and get that first pick. He goes towards secret. This is a nice play. He'll look towards red, and he knows he has to make something happen here. Can't just sit back and hold a defensive line and be smoked out. I'd say he pushes it a little bit further forward than he currently has. Here he comes. We'll see if he can find this first kill. Has to go for it, in my opinion. He'll check towards silo first, presumably if he goes any further. Might have left a little bit too late now. Might have to hold this deeper line. There it is, check silo.
Still Draken sits back. He wants the close shot. He's right beside the door as well, where the opening to his right to get further down the stairs and get away. Molotov forces him out early.
Off he goes.
Run away as fast as he can. I'm not sure they would have heard the tag that was placed at his feet as a result, but NBK will sit and wait. This is still above as well with pistols. 5-2, and he's G2 with the chance to pull this back on a T side early. Apex will go above. Checks back toward forklift at spawn so as not to be caught off, but this gives Heaven control to G2, and they've already backed off at NIP, in fact dropping down inside of the site. It was Forrest that exists to give it up altogether. Good position from Forrest. I see that back, he's still above. It looked like he dropped in. Instead, NBK though will get him down from the other side as they walk in from main entrance. It's Rez instead, recovering position with an M4, looks the wrong way against the bomb planter. And Shocks wins the duel, NBK wins the fight at ladder, and we do get the third round we anticipated.
That was the full commitment there from NIP, going with the AWP, 4 CZs as well. But it gets a little bit exciting towards the end. The bomb just about goes down, about 6 seconds to spare. Maybe with a couple of key frags coming in from NIP. At that point, we had a real chance them winning it, but overall G2 looked relatively comfortable. The AWP stuck in the vents, not really much Draken could do. Obviously, like I said, I think he had to go more aggressive to start that round. Holding defensively in secret, you can see how vulnerable he was. He gets the Molotov there, has to fall back, then never really recovers the round. I think he has to go super aggressive there, go for that first pick, ruffle their feathers a little bit, then he goes back towards ramp or upper, something like that. Not sitting back and hoping that he gets a chance of defensive frag. But here we go, Apex with the Mac 10, MBK chimes in as well. It's a full eco. Don't know why I'm getting so excited this round, but there you go.
Just do it, Hank.
Just get in there, get stuck in.
Get stuck in, I like that.
But it will be a couple of frags with Get Right, that's on his USP, so not all for naught, but we'll see if we can get anything else done here. A bit of damage, but that's about it. G2 looking to level things up. 5-4 is the overall scoreline for now. Money's in an okay position. Draken with another glass cannon here. After having a positive start there. 3-0 for an IP. Only 2 gun rounds posted so far. Here's Get Right. The replay with that USP. Second one was tagged up, but still, they all count. $600 in the bag there in the full eco, so that's not bad at all for him. Gets himself a kip. And it's just one of the small things in CSGO. I like that. I haven't seen that before. A little run boost. Not necessarily a run boost. A boost up towards catwalks, much quicker than going up the ladder.
It is quicker, actually, yeah. Means
you're not going to get like traffic there either.
Unfortunately, the flash came out and immediately Get Right and Draken had to back away. They couldn't go as aggressive as they would have liked to and committed to the peak. Either way, shot in from an AK-47. It's Molotov down to the door to allow Apex to round the corner but not get counter-peaked. As a result, Rez goes the anticipated way, and I'm sure Apex is going to read this. Yeah, decontamination. Apex, though, comes out after Rez has already rounded the corner. So his aim was set and at the ready. So too is an AWP of Draken. Finds one, goes for more, nails that as well. Did he? I take it back.
No kills
there. He didn't get either. What?
I was going to say, have I missed something? Have I lost my mind? No, he didn't get any.
I have, apparently. That's unbelievable. Draken, 30-degree, whatever they call it. Remarkable.
Remarkable. Well, 4-on-3. They still have the advantage, and damage has been inflicted. 3 players with GT towards the ramp room. That's going to be Shox, Kenny S, and MBK. They've got the bomb as well. Get Right, he patrols towards ladder, making sure no one can get up and be a pest towards heaven. Yeah, it looks like the final player will be towards lower side, though. That's where Forest is waiting, as we said. Amazing form right now. Get Right can feel the final commitment coming in. Might have overextended here, but still finds the form. Bomb will be planted. He does take down Shoxy in the process. Take down Kenny S, and still have a chance for G2 here after Kenny S in the 2 versus 1 with the bomb planted.
With the bomb planted, G2 can turn this back up on Kenny. His AWP, that certainly hit. I can't make a mistake of that one. I'm blaming the aspect ratio, Henry. It's down to Forest. In the open, Kenny can't land at 13 HP. He can put an aid toward the railing. The railing that was in the way, but a flash will allow the peak, and Kenny certainly does tie us up at 5-5.
Difficult situation there for Forest. All things considered, he had no kit, and up against Kenny's as well, who knew exactly where the bomb was. It's the CT who had to cross over as well and negate the shot to little to no utility. This was a cool boost. I just wanted to point this out. So you can see the CT getting on his head. It means you miss the traffic. You get up the catwalk really quickly as well. You go for an early frag. Maybe you get your AWP up there. That could be a really cool idea, right? You get him up there really super fast, and I've not seen that before. I'm sure it's been done before, but I haven't seen it. So that's why I wanted to have a look at it. So that's quite nice. CZs and a scout for Get Right here. It's not the forced buy, of course. It's a partial buy, we call this one. Spend a little bit of your money as your lost bonus accumulates. They'll be on maximum next round. So you save your money about 2k on the CD side and still have full buys going to the next. Not really much will be done by the looks of things. Get Right with a scout, not known to be a sniper. But we'll see if he can inflict any sort of damage here. So that's some alley-oops for his teammates. It looks like he's already tagged up Shoxy, so decent work there. He seems to know he's in that tight corner, but that could be is unraveling because Kenny has to use that information to take him down.
Forrest, though, with a deagle, positioned well, but can't find the follow-up shots. As he put body onto just 68, believe it or not. It looked like he was going to do significantly more damage. He could not. Track him, we'll wait, and we shall too. The round 2 end, and G2 to take a lead on the T side.
They will. Have to go down 3-0. Looking much better for them at this point. NIP, we said though, maximum loss bonus coming into the next one. So, orbs available. Draken dropped off slightly since I said he was having such a good game. 5-5 right now. Seems like G2 have certainly got their number towards the outside area. Having a lot of fun there. Apex, he's got 8 grand right now, Matt. Some of his teammates.
Damn,
he's staying on the Mac 10.
Yeah, why not?
I would say why not, because you want to win the round, really.
I know, I get what you mean, but I'm just going with it. Better than 5 of them, though.
Yeah. Like, it's round number 12. You're coming to, like, the latter stages now. Like, get the 8. Like, I guess there's something to be said for it, like, towards the vents, but I'm wanting the AK instead of the Mac 10 one, I suspect. It's got a couple of unarmored heads.
Unarmored heads. Get Right's going old school, watching the new position of drop behind the silo, however, knowing that the catwalk exists in extended fashion. You don't have to jump to the main entrance anymore, and then boost to the air conditioning vent, and then strafe jump to the catwalk.
No,
and
it's
then
much easier now.
Yeah, exactly. Not as convoluted as that. He's certainly in a good position if they walk by this gap in the smoke. Does he see them? He will now. Line up just one. Just one. As Body gets back 4 more. It will be slowed down as Exist sprays in, hoping for better fate to a blinded target. Instead, though, they'll have to rotate back and go down the vents. The vents by which Apex holds and Kenny shuts down after the Molotov lands. It means Rez can go no further. A nade goes in. Rez takes further damage, and he's going to keep going up and down the ladder because they continue to throw nades at him. That's frustrating.
It is very frustrating. Has to just go up there and accept his fate at this point. It seems like it has to be another save from what I can see right now from NIP. They've got 1 kit, a smoke, and yes, Draken will be saving the AWP. Get right, you're right. He had a real chance there to really maybe get 1 or 2 frags. He got 1, but 2, there's a chance to win the round. They saw everyone cross over towards Secret. A little bit unlucky they couldn't get any frags there. Doing damage, sure, but then Apex, you thought he was going to get that frag towards the vents with the Mac 10. I do still question why he kept that weapon, but I guess the close range encounters towards lower, it does make a bit of sense, and unarmored heads in front of him. Maybe it could have been interesting, but still, G2 continue their rampage now. 6 rounds in a row, I believe. Indeed it is. And the overall scoreline comes in. 7-5 for G2, looking very promising here. We can force around this, though, if we're an IP. We say the AWP and the M4 won't be the best force, but well, to be fair, they do get at least 4 rifles here and an MP9. That's the one compromise. And there's a little replay for you of that boost once again, just to show you how quick you can get up to that area. Get right with the chance to spray 3 down. Wasn't meant to be.
Not meant to be. 6 rounds in a row now for G2 on the T side. That's concerning if you're an IP who fire blindly with Draken's AWP into the smoke. Again, they control the secret position. G2 loving outside.
Fast.
They're very fast. Not a lot of possession at ramp, to be said, but they certainly are winning the exchanges early on elsewhere. Good positioning, Rez. Apex doesn't even think of it.
Loving this from G2. Same smokes every round. Sometimes you use them, sometimes you don't. It's going to be Rez, though, with 3 kills in the round. He's holding strong. One of the newer signings for an IP. Giving them a chance in this round. It's now a 3-on-2. Exists only on the MP9 up against Body and Shoxy here. Bomb will not be planted. His Body looks towards back at the vent right now. Shoxy, though, he's in a very interesting position. Top of heaven somehow. I'll have an open bomb site here as well. His teammate has got the bomb in his back. So are all the NIP players towards lower right now? Is that exactly the play? Exist has to go towards secret, but I think we are going to have everyone from NIP towards lower. So it's up to Exist to come from secret and potentially bring this round back in their favour. So it's a 3-on-2, but I actually favour G2 there.
Body goes back out toward the lobby as Exist works his way in. You favor G2.
If they'd have smoked main entrance like they did to the then, now we've got a round. They can really win this.
Well, they've held off the door long enough. Damage was done through the smoke. It takes Body onto 4, but no one has the balls, should we say, to go aggressive and get inside of the site directly. When they do, good find from Draken somehow on the ladder, and that's going to allow Shocks to be found. And I think the round's been stolen away in that regard.
How has Draken done that with the USP?
Yeah, on top of the ladder, that's pretty ridiculous.
Like, that's more luck than skill, I'm afraid. But Rez, he would have been so gutted if his teammates had dropped that round. He gets 3 kills towards lower, holds strong against the likes of Apex and Kenny S as well, who's doing tremendous work with the close range AWP. Nice calm play. That could have been such a blunder if NIP gave that one away, but still, they managed to negate it. There still has a huge reset potential here, though. Lose this round, they could be in round number 15 with just pistols. That would be it. Here we go then. AWP for Kenny S, of course. He goes towards the squeaky door. Spotted, looking towards garage. No smokes deployed this time, but they have gone for a contact play towards upper. CTs have no idea. Just completely wrecked there. Exist can't do anything about that. They went for a bit of a more gamble play towards outside and tried to challenge the smokes, and the best spray there from Gerard, but gets the frag all the same. Shoxy finds Draken, and the upper side is completely under control of the French side.
Control, but forced to walk in from main. Smoke goes deep. Apex is playing forward of it. This could be the hard part for him to find. A very hard part for him to find as he starts to get further stanced and aggressive. Forced considers, but not anticipates. Therefore, was not ready to be proactive on his trigger ambition, if you will. His reaction time is effectively where I was going with that, Henry. I just couldn't say it as eloquently as I would have liked to.
Well, I'm glad you explained yourself.
Thank you. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Slow down to speed up.
Well, it's G2 running away with this round. I like that approach, though. They've shown so much presence towards outside. They've baited NIP to have a lot of presence out there, throwing those smokes every single time, and that will be the harsh reset as well. They do save the AWP and the M4A4, but still won't be much to go around here in the NIP squad. And here's the play from outside. It was Get Right there. Oh, okay, so Shoxy somehow got Drak in there as he was dropping down for main entrance. So if Get Right was a little bit cleaner on his spray, he would have saved his teammate, but it was messy.
Potentially the round, could you argue?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, keeping one player alive in that sort of situation, for sure, considering they saved 2 players there as well. Here we go. Not the worst buy in the world, but certainly not the best. 1 and 4 at the AWP, a FAMAS, a UMP, and a CZ. That's all the Ninjas have to work with here. It's the last round of the first half, and G2 looking for number 9 on the C-side of nuke. It's not disastrous. It's not as one-sided as it used to be. Definitely recoverable, especially like for a team like NIP. Apex goes towards Ram this time, trying to challenge whoever may be on the other side. This time it's Rez. And Draken once again holds that defensive angle. Doesn't want to challenge for the frag when he has to. You can see his teammates going down, but finally gets the shot. That was on top of T-Red. But now they know exactly where he is. Do they change their plan? Do they go towards up? And it looks like that's exactly what G2 would do. Got the information. That's where the AWP is. Probably smoke off main entrance here. Molotov at heaven potentially, and then get in.
This knows there's one close after seeing the nade thrown. Good find, body. No damage done in return. Better shot up close, Draken, but he gets taken out as Exist to swing down in good fashion to find the bomb, and Forrest will do the same. 8-7 at half. We split it, but not without some drama for NIP because they were firmly in the lead. They lost 6 rounds in a row, got reset, and then managed to at least stay within 1. So it gives them a chance, but they swap to the hard side next.
Yeah, really enjoyed that first half. I'm sure I'll have more drama as we get into the second half. Check it out after the quick break.
Seven is always an interesting scoreline. It's one we love to see because it means we have a close game. However, does that still hold when you have 7 rounds swapping over to the CT, or excuse me, 8 rounds already swapping over to the CT side if you're G2, 7 rounds, and potentially playing from behind on the T side if you're NIP. I did say I was the Samurai Henry, so I like my odds.
Well, I'll be the ninja this time. I don't think it matters, especially on Nuke these days, and NIP very well versed on this map. I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine and be happy to be on the chase here, only slightly, as we get to the second half. Win the pistol, they'll pretty much be in the lead, so that's not too scary of a prospect. We'll see what they can do in the second half. Both teams do like this map, and I'm sure we're going to see more high-octane action. More the same. Most teams do play this quite similarly, like smoking towards outside, trying to get their outside picks and some upper executions as well. It's a couple of rushes chucked in for good measure, but we'll see what the pistol brings. And like I said, Matt, we've been waiting for the pistol meta to change since we've had the updates. Now, 2 P250s coming in this T pistol here. So this could be interesting. It'll be Forest and Draken with semi-Superman buys with P250s and armor. And they'll be rushing towards outside of 4 players, one holding towards lobby.
Side toward lobby. As Apex tries to do what he can. Hold on. G2 with MBK falling down. Knows they're above him, but can't do anything outside the door because he's being found. Shox needs to save him, but can't do it. Draken immediately gets on the case, and then it's immediately after that that MBK goes down. Forrest was nearly found. It all goes well for NIP. We get 8-8. Now their odds are increased in trying to tie this game up.
Interesting approach there. P250 certainly going to be coming more and more into pistol meta. They were slightly buffed recently, and means you can go for more, obviously, one-taps and long-range duels up against the USP. And there it is. We're starting to see it a little bit more as we get further into this patch. There'll be 4 AKs here. Classic counter-strike here from NIP. 1 SMG to work with. Exists with the UMP. A couple of smoke swords outside. Don't necessarily have to use them. You can bait as one player out there, try and force some rotations. Exist. Exactly what are we doing? 1 player towards Ram, actually making 4 now. NIP will be trying to split towards the lower bomb site. With Exist getting information towards lower, trying to work out what's going on. There could be a stack anywhere, they have no idea. And from what I can see, it looks like it's towards lower. We've got body. I was trying to work it out from the overview. Kenny S and body on the back steps. Apex there as well. So NIP needs to be very careful then. It's only be Exist that goes that way, but if they go plant towards lower, it could all fall apart.
Apex falls away, sees that in hand, and falls away and falls into Forest. Doesn't exactly go that way. How far into the Forest can you go, Henry?
Very deep.
Halfway, because after that you're coming back out the other side. Rez takes down MBK body. It's Exist, it's Forest to double up, and so too he will triple.
He will. Headshots aplenty as well. It was a nice approach from NIP. The stack towards lower. You can see how that works. Exist gets the information and the attention towards that side of the lower bomb site, and then his teammates come flying in through the window, and Exist and Forest do the work there with the AK, especially Forest with the headshots towards the end there. And there will be the eco now as NIP take the lead. Like I said, win the pistol in the second half. They will pretty much start to extend as we get into round number 3. USPs and 80,000. Stack towards outside. They get 1 frag, but that's all they'll get. Very quick round. About as fast as it gets in CSGO. 4 players on the T side rushing outside. 5 on the CT. G2s want to get that round out the way. Kenny S gets dropped the AWP. He doesn't have head armor, but not a big deal against the AKs. Here's a replay.
Decent though for Rez. So NIP up 2. But now we get guns out. Kenny S on the AWP goes immediately on to Heaven, and he watches the vents being blown out early, so no one rushing through. They put the rifles on that and said, no smokes outside. Draken wants to dry peek, and Kenny reads it.
Yeah, that smoke's not great either. It covers a little bit towards main entrance, but they were pushing through that. Kenny S drops down to the air conditioning unit, but you can see Rez is ready for that. It might not matter though, the frags coming in. More so for G2 here. It's going to be 5-on-3 situation, but Rez still hot on Kenny's heels, but he'll fall back to a more defensive position once again.
I expected that to be an entire consequence of kill for Kenny S, but he doesn't hit it, and as a result, Exist actually picks up the AWP that Draken dropped. It now allows for Forest to rotate around. It gives them control of the outer position, but watch the fact that Forest is going to leave the bomb and still get aggressive. There's 1 to find before they're equal footing. And MBK might be the next in line. Shox is clever enough. Forrest is going to consider it. It's a hard shot to hit even when you consider it and anticipate it. If he now gets it, it gives them the lead, and Forrest knows it. He knows exactly where to look. Shox gets the first shot. 8 HP. He's going to try and splash himself. I thought he was going to smoke it, but he really has to get away from the fight. There's nothing he can do in that angle.
35 seconds remaining. Exist and Forest now struggling here, especially Forest at low HP. He gets bound by MBK, and this could be the first round of the half for G2, but there it is. It comes in. I thought Exist would be able to do something with the AWP there. Not known to be an AWP. And that's the first round on the board for G2. Plenty of money, though, from the NIP side. Can try and punish. It wasn't the cleanest of rounds for G2, and they're going for the double AWP set up on Nuke. I really am not a fan of this at all. I think it's a very poor setup, and it can be one of those things that allows NIP to get back into this game. All it takes is smoke towards outside, 4 players rushing towards lower, and you've got a useless retake available to you. P9 for Apex as well. It's one of the rounds, if you lose a double orb, you won't recover it. Even if you win the round, right? One of your orbs goes down, he's like, yeah, we know what, we'll just leave that, but it might not even matter because Draken, he's dealing damage towards the squeaky door. What were G2 doing there? Pushing in and getting taken down one by one. I think it was Apex who's trying to recover the situation. I assume Shoxy was towards main entrance. I'll have a look. He was indeed. So it was Apex trying to run through and get the refrag, but MBK, he'll have to do that this time as he takes down one. That's Forrest that gets dropped, and now it's a 4-on-3.
Kenny sits below the stairs at Secret, and he's hoping they're going to push all the way through. There's no one outside, at least indicating they're going that direction. They're going to wrap around instead. He could still surprise them. If he times this well and peeks from stairs, the smoke down just saves them. Now he's left alone. Nade. Ooh, good damage.
Gives his position away, unfortunately. Don't know exactly where that came from. And he has to hold and smoked out. Just trying to save the AWP. He isn't going to a real defensive position right now. Just wants to hold in secret. Listen out for footsteps and take them down one by one. But that's a nice play from NIP. And you can see how that double orb setup falls apart. It was a nice play from Draken. I hope we're going to see a replay of that one because that sounded pretty crispy. He goes towards the squeaky door. Shoxy was ready and waiting for him. Took down one. Apex took the opportunity with the MP9 to run through, try and get the refrag, but it didn't happen. Got dropped. 5-on-3. And nothing really G2 could do about that situation. They'll have minimum loss bonus into the next one. $1,400 per player. They saved the orb. I guess they almost certainly forced by, considering it is G2. And they will save the orb. So look out for it. With Shoxy on 4,400. A Kenny S orb, which he can drop. Here we go. That's nice. And how does he get this kill then? So he runs
chased it. Yeah. Apex went after him.
Nice movement from Draken, nice fast bunny hole around the corner. Got himself in a safe position and then completely wrecked Apex. And as predicted, the force spike comes through. Kenny keeps a little bit of money, doesn't drop anything. So Deagle sees Eds and they're going to have to hope that Kenny S can cause some damage here. It's probably one of his best maps, right? Everyone says that Kenny S is a god with the AWP on Nuke, where many AWPers struggle.
Oh, he's got the speed. Quite the accuracy, as he did anticipate correctly that they would be on the corners while the smoke's down. He's going to try and fire into it as well and guess some sort of sonar as to where exactly they are on the other side of it. They'll boost instead on top of Red Crate, which gives them vision of outside. It's a clever play to give Draken an angle, but there's no one exposed to it, at least not yet. Kenny could be if he goes any further, doesn't, decides otherwise. And he'll wait for the opportunity to present itself at this point in time as well. Shock sits stairs below with Apex having rotated down on the Deagle as well. NIP could find 12, remember, with the guns as they are, more so, but they've already found MBK. Bit of information revealed. And it's going to be 4 players towards Secret, including the bomb. Get rid of his patient. Oh, he's looking the wrong way. This should go Shox's way, because he wants to lurk for rotations. Body's already found him. That's going to tell Shox you're wide open to rotate. Now NIP has to be careful because they've gone back to main entrance. They could butt heads with the 2 players that want to come back through hut. The AK, especially at Body, could menace them all as he finds the first kill. Kenny's still down, but Shox is still in position. Body additional kill on top of it brings it to 2 versus 2. And just like that, even though lower was completely open, it's G2 that actually get the round away. I startled myself. I hit the water bottle, but the cover was on.
Yeah.
And my heart sunk because I thought I was going to ruin the entire production.
Yeah, all over the servers, the broadcast equipment could have fallen apart, but you managed to hold it together. We got through the round, and so did G2. Forced by there, a Kenny S AWP. That wasn't the savior there. It's Shoxy and Body doing serious work there from the hut as well. They hold strong. They win the force by and keep the dream alive for G2. We did say after an 8-7 half, it's going to go the full distance here. Definitely still can do that. Exist. Surprisingly goes with the Mac 10 up against the unarmored heads of Shoxy and MBK. Certainly can cause some damage here. You know, Nuke is favourable for vent drops and ramp rushes, and it's going to be Forrest who could be trying out one of those right now. He goes towards the ramp for taking down MBK with that MP9. Gets gifted the early frag, and Kenny has to back him up as well. They'll have no idea Kenny's here, but the flick shot doesn't work out for him.
Draken is going to get boosted to the corner to hold the ramp. If rotations head that direction, he can actually cover off the entire side of the map if they rotate out from under as well. It could indicate that NIP wants to expose that rotation and try and go upper, but Apex is well positioned to watch any wraparound. So Exist instead to probe the inner sight, the upper sight. All-important round on both sides, on both fronts, as both banks are running out of loans.
Absolutely. Both teams fragile at this point. 4 on 4. This round's coming to a head as MBK wasn't able to recover the weapon he took down, but it's tracking AWP this time. Gets dinged up in the process. Doesn't take a ton of damage there, but Rice certainly does as Apex takes him down towards upper we go. There is an open sight here, but coming from main entrance, that will be Apex with the AK-47. Completely takes down Exists and opens things up, but Rez still fighting back here on the upper bomb site.
Smokes go up, body held out. The plant comes in as a result of it. It's Kenny, tries to get a nade through the crevice, the crack, to get the kill. In fact, he gets it through the window. Draken nailed. Molotov would have taken him down. Now he's got his teammate to run through it. Body gets taken down, and the damage done to MBK is very minor. Inconsequential and minor mixed into one word.
Well, it will be G2 finding a couple in a row now after winning their force buy. It comes down to very tight situations there. Reds holding strong, finding decent frags. Actually at the top of the scoreboard right now for NIP, 18 and 12. Everyone pretty good overall on both teams. No one's really like dropping behind significantly. A quiet game from Kenny S, all things considered. 10-15. Hasn't been lighting it up with the AWP. It's normally one of his better maps, like I mentioned. But it's 11-11. All tied up here. And we are going to be fully invested on the NIP side. Mac 10s, UMPs, a couple of AKs as well, making 3. And smokes towards outside. Kenny S waiting for him to really go off here on nuke. And all 5 players commit towards outside. They go very quietly as well. So they don't really know how much manpower I got down there, but it's the entire NIP squad, and it's up to Shoxy now to hold them off. That's a lovely smoke. Very frustrating. They just flash through it and hope for the best. Just run for it together as well. That's actually a nice play. And the Mac 10 shows its versatility and how good it can be close range, run and gun.
It does. We saw 5 of them out earlier, and it didn't do much. Let's not get too carried away on our affection for it. You didn't seem so lovely then. 11-11. No. Make a wish. NIP is going to try and wish to win this round. As Kenny backs off, has to. Bomb to be planted. The rotations are now the important aspect of the round, and Body and Apex will work in together from Secret. That gives them the corner toward Decon. And Apex wins out on Draken, giving Kenny the confidence, knows where Rez is. As always, Kenny hits a lovely shot, and suddenly it's down to just Exist. Nade out the doorway, get the kill. What a retake from G2.
Oh, Kenny. Good lord, that was quite beautiful, I have to say. The no-scope, you're right. When it's him, they always seem to connect in the most beautiful way as well. He gets the right-click grenade. He seems to know exactly where the remaining player is. No scope comes through. Good night. Drops the nade, round over. And the bomb goes down once again for NIP. It looks like they can keep buying him up, but they're getting uglier and uglier each time. A couple of AKs this time. UMP'd and a kill little as well. And will be Exists who wield that final weapon. And what's the play here? They do have a few smokes to work with here, but lose this round, and that could be it. After the EK next round, it'll be potentially 14-11 after that. G2 looking to close this one out. Kenny S finding some form, just as I called him out of being at the bottom of the scoreboard. That was quite spectacular. Towards outside once again. I don't think all 5 players committed this time, just 3. 2 in the lobby still. Bomb does go down lower though. Look who's waiting for them with the big green gun. It's Kenny S.
Big green gun.
Oh, doesn't fire off though. Good discipline.
Oh, doesn't quite land it when they jump across, though. That forces him well back. He's got to go to the vents. Instead, they get around the corner. He likes to be flashy, sometimes too much for his own good. Forrest will take down Apex, and Kenny has to go back to the same position. He's not sure which way to look. Long corridor to fire at, but misses and Exist. Baits out a shot. This round should go on IP. We go back to 12-12, and it'll be a 3-round reset going against G2, and not a lot of money left over. They will have enough. Ooh, yes, they will. That's tough. 4,100, 65, 82. They could force out with drops, but it would limit Kenny's options.
Kenny could definitely still buy the orb. I think you're going to have to. I would say take a pause. I haven't seen a single pause yet. Oh, finally it happens. There we go.
Nice call. Good call, Coach Hank.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely a good time to do it, just to break down the last round as well. That was a ramp split there from NIP. The round before, they tried 5 players down towards the Secret Steps. Didn't really work out for them. Then, same sort of idea, but 3 players there, and they had Forrest and another player, I think it was Exists, going with him towards the ramp room. They managed to pick up a frag there, and then down towards lower. Good flashbangs, pushed Kenny S back towards the vents. Teammates couldn't back him up, got stifled in that position, and it all fell apart. the force buy will come through for sure. It's just a case of how they distribute the wealth right now. Kenny S definitely going to have the orb. And like I was calling out for Draken in the first half, I felt like on those sort of rounds, he had pistol, he had the AWP, he was way too passive. He needed to be fighting for the frags. They couldn't just sit at the bottom of Secret and hope a frag was gifted to him. You have to work hard for these frags. I hope we can follow Kenny right now just to see what he decides to do. I don't think he'll be sitting back looking for one kill. He'll be actively fighting at the very start. He might go towards ramp aggressively. He might sit at heaven. I would say outside is likely. We'll see what he decides to do. Looks like ramp from what I can see right now. It will indeed. And he might just go for the straight up peek and run around the corner, but drops the smoke. It might boost a teammate and go towards Secret. So nothing crazy aggressive just yet. Just going to be backing his teammate up with a little utility. And this is a fast play now from the Ninjas, and the MP9 is going to be not working out too well for Shoxy. He'll be taken down.
Shot from Kenny is fast as always. Draken's the one that he finds. Wait as well as a flash goes out. It's Apex that steps in next from the main entrance, cuts off anyone rotating toward the Secret. Exist is the one in line, but watch the 18 HP as he crosses back over. Get right. Good damage, but not a kill just yet. Flash out, and Kenny's forced off the angle. Gives Forrest the shot instead, should he re-peek. But Forrest has to be careful in that Kenny's gone down below, so a step too far. And that window will get busted out, and a bullet for Forrest will be fired.
3, but Forrest, that's a nice shot. Known to be quite proficient with the AWP himself. He takes down Kenny S. What a scalp to take in this sort of round as well. Money on the line for both teams. MBK with the MP9. A couple of M4s to work with here, and another duel. Get right. We said he's got good form right now. That's a nice shot. 3 on 2. They find the lead once again. Time still okay for the Ninjas. 20 seconds. Need to get their skates on, though, as we do have Reds with the bomb. Apex holds towards the upper side here. Doesn't have much to work with. It looks like it will be Rez with the bomb towards lower. Open bomb side, of course, he doesn't know that. Wants to make sure he doesn't give this away. This bomb goes down as he's planting it, and I'm in a lot of trouble, but luckily, he can plant behind the side these days, and they'll be fine. No kits available. This should be an NIP round. An absolute disaster if he goes in favor of G2.
Would be a disaster. When he gets closer and closer and the sight flashed off, they have to peek together. Forrest goes alone, although he did have a trade potential immediately beside him. 13-12, NIP holding on the T side, despite being down around when they got there. The pistol certainly helped. That was unbelievably fast. Headshot through the box as well.
The steel box.
I want whatever he's bulleting, firing. I want his ammunition. That's the word I'm looking for.
I want a brief bulleting, a new catchphrase. It's gonna go with drinking, eating.
Listen, man, come on.
Bulleting came out. It's gonna be an eco though. NIP looking to get 14-12. Should be able to get it. Oh, maybe not. Apex says no for the first kill at least. That's the PD50 and another one as well. All right, NIP operating very quickly here, and it's not working out. This is a pretty much full eco as well. 3 PT50s, no armor, no nades, 2 default pistols, and MBK gifted another kill. Oh no, NIP. Not like this. You really do hate to see him out. This is the kind of rounds that break my heart.
Bring you to tears.
Just when you know you've broken the money, you somehow get wrecked by 2 PT50s and default pistols. At those rounds, you need to just get together. If you lose the first 2 frags, I think it's getting into a 3-man unit, and then going in, you should be fine. It's recoverable, but if you start creeping in towards ramp, like everybody did, you're by yourself. It's a key choke point on the map, and he drops to MBK. Still not out of the round, but very unlikely to win this now. This was their chance to potentially close it out. Shouldn't have been anything with G2 to do here, but there you go.
Ooh, good shot exists.
Can you imagine both kills come in?
That would have been insane, and the entry that may have won them the round as Rez now leaves himself alone in the site as he gets swarmed. They rush quickly, having picked up the AKs, and they'll upgrade for free as a result. They've got 3 of them carried over. They couldn't find the 4th for Shocks, but it's 13-13, and we got a game, Henry.
Yeah, we really do. That's to be so frustrating for the Ninjas as well. The retake of them swarming him like red ants. Be round number 12. NIP still with bucket loads of cash, to be fair, so they're fine. This will be their last buy. They've lost this round, they'll be in a lot of trouble. So it's getting us back on the AWP. Enjoyed this game. It's definitely been the game of the evening. Not clear who's going to win. Some blunders. And some nice shots as well. There's another one as Draken blows off the head of Kenny S. 5 on 4. Starting to show a bit more aggression this time, and Body pushes towards the lobby. Speaking of aggression, takes down Get Right. That's a really difficult shot in CSGO to shoot directly up. Manages to put it off. Although HP Get Right, who fell back, thought he was safe, gets dropped. We go into the 4 on 4, and the CT is still controlling lobby. Apex pushes Squeaky Door as well, but oh my goodness, it's Forrest that executes MPK in the back of the head.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty swift. Sharks will wait. Forrest, meanwhile, gets Molotov behind the silo at lower. Sharks inside of Toxic actually has a play to make because the door's closed. It's hard to check it. It's hard to consider it as Apex wants to rotate him behind. Forrest certainly does. Knew he had to have gone somewhere, but now he's got to be ready for Apex to be much closer, I think, than he expected or guessed. Either way, it's Draken to get it back. Body, oh no. I'm betting he couldn't aim any further up. I'm guessing Exist was aimed straight up and couldn't swing the mouse. He had to turn rather than fire in a different direction. And Body suddenly makes a round from it. He's on 3 kills with 5 HP. Draken, no bomb, has an AWP, and the bomb's down in the site. The AK could still be beneficial. 5 HP. All Draken would have to do is switch to the pistol, but he doesn't have the call on what the damage is. And he backs off on the op to find the shot. If Body can bait him out and find the headshot on the AK, he can still win this. Crosshair placement reasonable, but the flash wins it for Draken.
There it is. Just when it seemed like we had done enough there. Body in the 1v1 situation. I was excited because when he's up against the AWP as well, the HP doesn't become a factor. Like he said, the call probably doesn't come through. And unfortunately, for Body especially, considering he's done such a good job there, gets flashed out. Draken takes him down. Very well played. And that's going to be quite a harsh reset, I think, for the CTs. Surely NIP. You lost to Furica before. Time for some redemption here. Up against the Max 7s, Deagles, and a couple of M4s. You win this round, you win the game. Don't let this one slip by. I like this play from Apex, though. Jumping above the smoke. This could be very exciting towards outside, and both the kills come in for Body. They push in, but Draken trying to pick up the pieces here. He takes one down in return. Looking for the second frag, spots it, but now he's got himself in a lot of trouble there, Matt. Goes down, and it's another forced by potential victory here for G2.
Sharks.
He just can't get it together on these lesser buys.
Smoke high, forget. Oh no, it's missed. It's missed.
Looked quite nice. Good idea.
It was a good idea. It was a great idea. Great intention. Isolate the site and give them a better chance. But Forrest is below with bombs, so Get Right, even though he's made a mistake, hasn't cost them much in terms of getting the bomb planted. What could is Forrest has his back turned. He does look back in time. Thankfully, it's a rifle, and he will give NIP a chance to find the map point. And a 1 versus 2 on Body on 12 HP as he tries to get their time. Get Right.
How's he not hit that?
That's 2 mistakes in a round. At least it's information for his teammate, which couldn't be enough. No kit. Body's going to tap inside of the smoke, try and swing from the silo. That works wonders. And Get Right's in a tight choke point, has to come out for the vent. Body's lost himself inside of the smoke, but backing off effectively. Get Right makes up for his errors and manages to win out the round. It is map point indeed.
Get Right. Oh, couple of blunders there. You're absolutely right. That was quite exciting towards the end. Body playing out of his mind right now, giving them opportunities. He just didn't really seem to have a chance within. And here's the final play. It was not the cleanest of kills from what I could see. Just about picks it up. A sigh of relief comes in from Get Right. He might have just done enough now to close out Nuke. As we go into round number 14. CZ's, 1 Deagle and a UMP. I've said about 5 times I think in this game. Surely NIP now have learned their lesson. They slow it right down and stop running into the potential stacks. And CZ's of G2 just drop the utility, go as a 5-man unit. You know the money's super low at this point. And it's going to be Kenny S firing wildly towards the smoke there, hoping he can get a dink. There's a little bit of damage towards Exist, but now we have got lower control for NIP. Apex waiting there with the smoke in hand, trying to buy some time. He knows players are towards his position. Smoke will come through momentarily. There it is. Not the best smoke though. It's got gaps for days, I think. So Rez won't be too phased by that one. We'll have a look, shall we? Yeah, they're not the worst. It's okay. Manageable. Actually might even favour the CT's that sort of gap. It would give the T a grey screen.
Grey screen, better than a blue screen. I always say that.
You do always say that.
It's because it's true. You don't want a blue screen.
Not at this point. Not at 15-13.
he said. That was very unexpected. How is this happening? How have they walked in? It's a cheese grater to the forehead.
They just seem to crumble a little bit. Like, they look so good in the gun rounds, and then they just forget that the really tight corners are a thing. They don't flash anything. They just run around one by one, and they seem to start panicking it. They've given away a rifle now. G2 definitely can still win this. As Forrest, he's been the savior many rounds, but he's dropped as well. One by one, where's the refrag?
Shox stuck behind this hut position, is trying to buy time. Body has made it work, and somehow G2 steal around back. He baits in the AK, and we might play for overtime. We're certainly going to play around 30. There's no money left for NIP.
Trent must be pulling his hair out at this point. I'm not sure what they're doing in these sort of rounds. They just seem to panic so much and just go one by one. It seems like it's like, well, I know I'm against pistols. Let's go for the hero plays. I'll run in by myself and hopefully just recover the situation. Then one of them goes down. They try and come in just after. Then they get a call back, and it's just so apprehensive. It's exciting, and you can see the nerves getting to either side. But NIP have had 2 or 3 chances to close this game out now in terms of like getting to the very latter stages, resetting the money, leaving them with nothing, and then just can't find the round. The most simple of rounds when you're up against the pistols. Sure, it's G2 are very well versed in pistols, but NIP are certainly not making it easy for themselves. When you know you've completely broken their money, viable options, stay as a 5-man unit, go towards outside, keep the range nice and long, even just do a full upper execution. But they keep going for the 1-by-1 defaults, and then someone panics and doesn't check a corner, and they find themselves around number 15 here, looking very likely for overtime.
Very likely. I think we've got extra rounds.
Yeah, almost guaranteed overtime, really.
Yeah, yeah. You're not wrong, Hank.
Get right the UMP, unless someone goes wild here with a deagle. It'll have to be Draken. He's the only one who's got that.
Smoke's behind red crate, one in front of it. Draken wraps around. Deagle, aggressive, through the flames, through the smoke, down to Secret. Rotation at this point in time is Apex. He'll sit at the corner, at the ready. Molotov was all his plan was. As soon as the shoulder shows, just drop it, buy time. It'll allow the rotations to be more swift from the rest of his team. In fact, he'll fall all the way back to a crossfire position. No one rotating down from vent to give it that extra strength we talk about. But this has to be explosive from NIP. And Apex is going to be joined below by NBK. Just above, near the vents, fast enough to even flank him behind them. At Secret is Shox. He's going to do that. He's going to go now. So NBK is going to try and hold him in with good effect. He'll find the kill. And cue Shox with about 10 seconds time as Apex finds one more. Shox was actually found by Forrest, so great read. That gives space because Forrest has picked up the AK. Forrest has taken Shox's gun and given NIP a chance. As Body walks in and Forrest, we have to see his POV. That might be the play of the game to save NIP from overtime.
How sick is Forrest? How is he doing that every single round? NIP, it felt like towards the end they didn't deserve to win. They kept losing to the force buys, the pistols, they were crumbling. But Forrest, what a performance that is. It seemed like G2 had done everything. A 5-on-3 with just pistols remaining. Forrest finds the AK-47 and completely lights him up. You're right, we do have to see that from his POV eventually. What a game it was. Definitely the game of the evening so far. Maybe the game of the week, and that's why we selected it as our hot match. Very exciting throughout. And you could see nerves riding high. And we'll take a quick break and see what the analysts for after this.